The rumors surrounding Tom Thibodeau and his status as the New York Knicks head coach are officially heating up, those coming from Ian Begley. We're going to break that down in today's show. Then I'll give you my top 5 replacements for Thibodeau if he is fired. Look, the Knicks are struggling. I don't know if it's all Tom Thibodeau's fault, but he definitely deserves some blame. So I want to ask the question, do you want Tom Thibodeau fired? If you do, go down right now and like this video. Yo, shout out to the real ones and welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. As always, we got a loaded show today for the real ones out there. Ian Begley, he was talking last night after the loss the Knicks suffered to the Milwaukee Bucks at home and said some things that really haven't been said about this front office so far since Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau took over. We'll talk about those rumors. Then I'm going to give you 5 coaches that I think could be on the short list of guys that James Dolan and maybe the new general manager of the Knicks take a look at if Tom Thibodeau does get canned from this job. Let's first go and see what Ian Begley had to say about the loss. He said 10-12, probably around where this team should be. But I know this. Internally, I think there's heightened scrutiny on the whole group. Some bad losses. Just something to keep an eye on. Heightened scrutiny internally on everybody, top to bottom. Amid this tough start, internally at MSG, there's heightened scrutiny on the club's game-by-game performance, and it's not solely focused on Tom Thibodeau. The seat for Thibs and Leon Rose is officially hot, and it is only going to get hotter and hotter if the New York Knicks don't start to stack some wins and make things happen as this young season starts to progress. They're 10-12. We're 22 games into the season. A fourth of the season has come and went. Still 60 games for the Knicks to figure it out. They have plenty of time. But I would say, I don't know if the start of the season has been all that disappointing, but I do feel as if they've left some wins on the table. They should have won that Milwaukee game. They should have beat at least the Memphis Grizzlies one of those games, and they definitely should have beat the Portland Trail Blazers. And there's other games as well that I feel like the Knicks left a W on the table. I do know this, though. James Dolan wants to win right now. He is paying 3 players $300 million. Jalen Brunson, I feel like he's done everything he can since he came to the Knicks. Struggled against the Bucks last night. Missed some game winners in the past couple of games. But I would grade Jalen Brunson's tenure so far somewhere from a B+ to an A-. I think he's been pretty good. R.J. Barrett, he's had some good games. He's had more games that have not been so good. Julius Randle, up and down. I call him 1 step forward, 2 step back. Randle, at the end of the day, when you're paying 3 players $300 million, you're supposed to have a big 3. And honestly, looks like right now, the New York Knicks have a mid-3. I think James Dolan is going to step in sooner or later. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I do know this. The Knicks, they need to be winning more games than they are right now. So I'll ask this question. Whose seat is hotter of the New York Knicks, on the New York Knicks right now? Is it Tom Thibodeau? Is it Leon Rose? Is it both of them? Whose seat is hotter? I want to hear from the real ones. Go down in the comments, type T for Thibodeau, type L for Leon Rose. We'll get to my Tom Thibodeau replacements here in a second. But first, I want to tell you about a brand new sponsor we have here on the channel, and that is Fetch. Today's Knicks Now video is sponsored by Fetch. Earn points on any receipt from any store or restaurant and redeem those points for gift cards and other rewards. Go to chatsports.com/Fetch. Fetch is a super easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt and you will earn points for your purchases. And the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. So let me show you how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt, and then hit submit, and you'll see that confetti pop, showing you that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click the e-receipt function to get you rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping by syncing your email account. You can then redeem points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or any of the 100 of retailers and restaurants that Fetch is hooked up with. Earn free rewards on everything you buy. The app's free. Everyone's going to be doing shopping during the holiday season. Get hooked up with Fetch. Take pictures of your receipts when you get gas, when you go to the grocery store, when you do online shopping. Dude, it's free, it's easy, and you get points that help you get closer and closer to redeeming those free points for gift cards. I'm going to be taking advantage of the holiday season. I'm almost already at a $10 gift card. Take advantage of that. Go to chatsports.com/fetch. That link is in the comments and description of today's show. Let's get into the heart of today's show. A lot of people have been asking me, Marsh, if the Knicks move on from Tom Thibodeau, who could they look at? So I talked with the NBA analysis here at Chat Sports, and we came up with 5 names. Do I agree with all of them? No, but I want to present them to you. Then I'm going to ask you guys at the end of the show, which one of these guys would you hire? First and number 1 on the list, I think it is Johnnie Bryant, the associate head coach for the New York Knicks. This is a guy that the Knicks hired back in 2020. From 2020 to now, he's been the Knicks associate head coach. But from 2014 to 2020, he was the Jazz assistant head coach. And that's kind of where all the Donovan Mitchell rumors started from. He, being Johnnie Bryant and Donovan Mitchell, are really good friends. Mitchell called him a mentor and a guy that he really liked, and people thought that he was going to lure Donovan Mitchell to New York. But I can tell you this much. If Tom Thibodeau is fired during this season, Johnnie Bryant is going to be the interim head coach. I don't think the Knicks are going to go out and fire Tom Thibodeau during the season and then go and elevate a big name out there, like some big names we're going to talk about here in a little bit. I think they would elevate Bryant from the bench, the associate head coach, to be that interim head coach, let him rock out for the rest of the season, then go and just reassess what they want to do going forward at the head coach spot. If it happens during the season, I think Johnnie Bryant will be the interim head coach. I'll tell you this much, though. If Tom Thibodeau gets fired, if more rumors comes out, if Leon Rose fired, if a trade happens, if a signing happens, whatever happens, we're going to be breaking it down on this channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV. We go live and do watch parties for every single game day. We put out videos every single day. We pride ourselves on keeping you guys informed and entertained with the latest Knicks news and rumors. So if you love the Knicks, you bleed orange and blue, and you're looking for a one-stop shop on YouTube that keeps you up to date on everything New York Knicks, go down right now, hit that big red button. A very popular name amongst Knicks fans that they would like to see get a crack at this head coach job if Thibs is fired is Ime Udoka. And I get it. Udoka led the Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals last year, one of the best teams in the NBA. He wasn't afraid to challenge Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, got the best out of those guys on the defensive end of the court. I like Udoka as a coach. I think he's one of the best X's and O guys in the National Basketball Association. But we have to be honest with ourselves. What happened in Boston, whatever it was, whatever Perkins was talking about or Matt Barnes was talking about, it is concerning, all right? I mean, the team went to the NBA Finals, then they suspended him for an entire year. Brooklyn was going to hire him, and then Brooklyn backed out because of some stuff that they did digging around. I am concerned about that, but we're talking just hoops today. Udoka might be the best and most skilled coach not with the team right now. He's suspended, but I believe if the Knicks went and made an offer to him, the Boston Celtics would let him go like they would have for the Brooklyn Nets. What happened in Boston is concerning, but he's definitely one of the best coaches in the NBA. Another NBA coach that I'm really a fan of, and I liked what he did with the Brooklyn Nets when he was the coach there, is Kenny Atkinson. He's currently the assistant head coach for the Golden State Warriors, a guy that was born in New York, went to high school in New York, coached with the Knicks from 2008 to 2012. He was the Nets head coach from 2016 to 2020. I think if you're going to hire Kenny Atkinson, that means you're going towards a rebuild, and that's okay. I'm okay with rebuilding and retooling and finding out who you have in these young guys. I think Kenny Atkinson would be one of the best coaches for that type of job. We saw what he did with those young Nets team. They played hard. They played defense. They were nasty. They were ferocious. They played with heart. I think Atkinson, being a New York guy, having experience with this team in this city, in this media market, would definitely go a long way. And if we're trying to move away from the star-chasing path, I don't know if there's a better coach out there than Kenny Atkinson to get this Knicks team rebuilt and retool as we try to get closer and closer to being a contender in the Eastern Conference. What about a big name that I know, one, he might be the number one guy on my list, and I'll say it, Jay Wright if the Knicks could hire Jay Wright, the former head coach of Villanova, a guy that's taken some time off right now, I would also give this guy front office decision-making power. 2 national championships in 3 years, a 520 and 197 record when he was with Villanova. Jay Wright is one of the best basketball coaches in the NBA and basketball, not just the NBA, not just in college. A guy that spent time with the U.S. national team. This is a guy that I think makes a lot of sense, and he's been linked before to the Knicks job. Rumors there before they hired Thibodeau, and I thought what Jay Wright said back when he stepped down from the Villanova job was very intriguing. He was asked, what do you think about coaching in the NBA? And he said, right now, I'm looking forward to this position at Villanova I have. But honestly, down the road, I'd be lying. I don't know what I'm going to feel like. I think he's leaving the door open to go coach in the NBA. And why not go back and coach the point guard that brought you 2 national championships, someone that you're very fond of? When Jalen Brunson, signed with the New York Knicks, Jay Wright talked about the type of player he's going to be, what he's going to bring to Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. He loves Jalen Brunson. I think he's one of the best coaches in the world that coaches basketball. I think he'd be a great person for this job. Jay Wright will be the number 1 coach for me on this list. Couldn't talk Tom Thibodeau replacements without bringing up Mark Jackson or Jeff Van Gundy. I get asked every single day, what do you think about Van Gundy? What do you think about Jackson? I think it's a little bit concerning that these guys haven't coached in the NBA for, has it been 10 years now since both these guys were last in the NBA? I know Jackson was most recently in it back in 2015, but I think it's a cool story. But I don't know if either of these guys really make that much sense anymore. Are they great basketball minds? No doubt about it. Are they New York heroes? Yes, sir. Does it feel like a good story and a come-home story? The former Knick player comes back and coaches the Knicks. The former Knick coach, the last time the Knicks were great, comes back and coaches the Knicks. But my question is, if these guys were such good coaches and ready to coach still in the NBA in 2022, how come they haven't got a job from anybody else? I don't know if they're the guy. I don't know if they're not the guys. I'm just a little concerned that they've been out of the game for so long. Do we really want another guy coaching this team that kind of has some of the similar tendencies that Tom Thibodeau has? I have a feeling, kind of like the game has passed Thibodeau by, maybe it has passed by Van Gundy or Mark Jackson. I wouldn't be mad if they hired him. I know a lot of people love him. I just think that there's better options out there right now for the New York Knicks. Pick one of these guys to hire, though. If you had to hire the next coach for the New York Knicks, who would it be? Type 1 for Johnnie Bryant. Type 2 for Ime Udoka. Type 3, Kenny Atkinson. Type 4 in the comments for Jay Wright. 5 if you want Mark Jackson with the New York Knicks. And if you want to see Jeff Van Gundy back on the sideline with New York, go down in the comments section and type 6. The Knicks 100% should have beat the Milwaukee Bucks last night. I think they lost because of Tom Thibodeau. Look, RJ played a great game. I thought he just had 2 possessions late in the fourth quarter. And I want to say cost this team the game, but didn't give them a better chance to win. He goes under the screen on the Grayson Allen 3. That's a guy you got to run off the three-point line, blow up that screen if you have to, go over on top of it, make him put the ball on the deck and attack the basket. Then you come back with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. You jab step and chuck up a 3. It's a make or miss league. If he makes it, I'm singing the praises of RJ Barrett right now, but he missed it. So I'm not. Look, last night sucked. Knicks should have won that game. Brunson didn't play great. Randall didn't play great. And you were there till the final seconds against the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't really believe in moral victories in sports, but I saw some things. Mitchell Robinson looked like the best offensive rebounder since Wilt Chamberlain yesterday. 20-plus rebounds, 11 offensive rebounds. I'm excited about what this team has, but, man, being excited is fun and all, but I'm not a 5-year-old fan anymore that's happy when the Knicks win. Got to start winning games. Or when they lose to good teams. Got to start winning games. That's the nature of the beast. You want to be a good team in this NBA? You got to win freaking games. The Knicks aren't doing that enough. Appreciate everyone that's tuned in. If you have another coach that you think the Knicks should get involved with, drop that name in the comments. And if you made it this far in the video, type real one.